some cool dashboards, and we also had Bo making some comments. We'll also be going over a little bit about the Tableau conference. So if you went, just share with us things that you liked and things that you thought are interesting, and just do a very, very quick overview of the new features that have come out of Tableau 2026 1. And I believe 2026 2 should be just around the corner if it hadn't been already released. So, Dave, back to you.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Greg, for reminding me to record the session. That's exactly what I asked you to do, and you were very helpful with that. Thank you. Yes, we are the Tableau user group. We keep on growing for K12, serving the K12 community to get things that are interesting for you. We're a community of volunteers, and so we're glad to have some show and tell today volunteers, and we're looking for you too to come volunteer, be a community spotlight, suggest things that you want to learn more about Tableau related to the K12 world or how things work. We're happy to have you here, and we're so glad that we keep on growing. We are 3 leaders today. Stephanie Henry can't make it today, but she's a terrific supporter of the group. She works for Plant Moran, one of the sponsors, and she's worked with Tableau since 2013. She was originally started in Cherry Creek School District in Colorado, right outside Denver, and still loves dogs. I am David Ogden. I'm in Renton, Washington, right here on the sunny shores of Lake Washington, near the training facilities of the world champion Seahawks. Yes, it's okay. Everybody can cheer. We started using Tableau here in Renton in 2015. I coach youth football here in the United States, but I also coach 5-on-5 in the Netherlands. And if you ever in Seattle and need a pastry or a donut, check out my LinkedIn profile. I've got a terrific map of great places for bakeries in Seattle. I don't know why, but Seattle has some terrific bakeries.
And I am Raquel Vandenes, and I've been in education for 14 plus years, all the way from the classroom to working with data visualization. Met Tableau in 2021 and fell in love and been using it ever since. Just curious fact, I love traveling and trying new foods. I've been to 19 countries and there's a lot more to go. So just to keep in your radar, some of our next dates. August 11, that Get Schooled with Andy Cribble, hosted by the Higher Education Tug and the California Community College Tug. We'll have a date in September, November, and the following February. We're still thinking about topics, so if there's something that you're really, really interested in hearing about or learning about, just let us know. And just a few resources that I find extremely helpful if you're starting, if you're seasoned, and just ways to find support and connecting. So DataFam helps you connect with people in the community, and it's a great resource to find information. And I'll be posting the links for all of those shortly in the chat. There's also the K12 DataFam, where you can find some more information more specific to K12, including Tableau Tuesday demonstrations and the K12 Q&A community. We also have the Tableau neighborhood that also serves that purpose to help connect and getting answers to your questions.
And we do have a committee on the Tableau neighborhood and Trailhead. So that's often where we'll put some news, or you can ask other questions, particularly while the summer is coming up. Things are less active perhaps, but if you've got questions, need help, we'll go ahead and publish on our K12 area in that neighborhood.
And one of my favorites, the Learning Hub, where you can follow the learning paths. There's some challenges as well. That's where you can find some support and help for your certification prep and just in general learning about the Tableau community.
Well, that's me. Okay. Raquel. Yeah. So in the Tableau community, there's lots of ways to stay in the know and learn how to use things. There are also some challenges that you can take. There's Makeover Mondays if you're trying to improve your skills or work on your skills. There's Workout Wednesdays. Well, so many ways to stay involved and work on your Tableau skills. always can keep up to date with things that are going on in Tableau. And the Trailhead area, brought to you by Salesforce and Tableau, is where they have lots of interesting lessons and classes and videos about how to keep on sharpening your Tableau skills. And we hope you use Tableau Public to show your things off for your district, for your schools. I've got a Tableau Public profile. Tableau Public is free, and it has some public data sources, or you can upload your own information there. And it's a place for endless inspiration. Different types of charts, different types of data to take a look through. We'll be talking about some of those folks today. If you went to the Tableau conference, you saw some Iron Viz folks, and we'll talk about that. You can see their dashboards, get inspired on Tableau Public. And the other great thing about Tableau Public is if somebody puts it up there, you can download it. You can take it with you. You can take it apart, see how it's done, and make one similar for your own data. If you sign up for Visit the Day, it's another way to be inspired. Maybe you one day will be Visit the Day as well. We have Bo McCleary here with us. He's has had a couple Visit the Day, or at least one, and also Iron Viz champion, and he'll be working with us to share his thoughts on our show and tell. But before that, hooray! Welcome. It is National Iced Tea Day. So if you're hot where you are in Seattle right now, it's about 56 degrees. So not really iced tea weather, but we can have iced tea anyways. But it's National Iced Tea Day. Use your fingers to tell us in the chat, are you more National Iced Tea Day chart with the bubble tea? Or are you more National Iced Tea Day with the line graph there? So give us a little more information. We've got iced tea weather in Virginia. It's iced bubble tea in Bellevue is terrific. Unsweet, no ice today. Joshua's going to have a Long Island iced tea. That's a wonderful idea. Must be on vacation. We still have a week to go here. In Kansas City, they've got all sorts of great chats. Thank you. All right. So in addition to National Iced Tea Day, believe it or not, it is also National Herbs and Spices Day. Now, do you say herb or do you say herbs? Different strokes for different folks. But are you more the periodic table of spice person? You think that everything's organized in your spice rack? Or are you interested more in going around the world and seeing what it's like for spices around the world? Let us know here. These are also some terrific visualizations that you can find on the Tableau Public, but let us know, are you more periodic table spice person? Are you more around the world spice person? Go ahead and flex those fingers some more. Herb, it's an herb, not a herb. That's a guy's name. Thank you. That's very well done. We've got some around the world. We've got some periodic tables. Terrific. Yes. Thank you for sharing your thoughts there. And one more, and if you've been to these before, I like to throw a little spice in myself. So today is also National Bed Bug Prevention Day. We hope that you haven't had any bed bugs, but if you need some help about how to prevent bed bugs in your area, you can also go to Tableau Public and find out information about bed bug prevention. You don't have to have a favorite here. I just wanted to let you know that there's so many things you can see on Tableau Public. And again, use that area as a resource for you, for heat maps, for geographic maps, for bar charts, for periodic tables, all sorts of things. I've got a couple of icks here and a couple of important about bed bug prevention. Now's the time, now that you've practiced using your fingers, share with us your announcements. Is there something happening in your life, your opportunities? We care. Bart wants to know, where do you get data for bed bugs? Well, that's a good question. I think the health department, many of the ones I found in Tableau Public are about New York City, so you can get your information there. Robert's going on vacation tomorrow. Congratulations, Robert. Hope you have a great vacation. Hope it's sunny and not too warm. I'm also going on vacation tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. Does Tableau still use MDX, multi-extension? Well, I bet Bo will know that one. Another one going on vacation, Route 66. Oh, that's terrific. from Chicago to LA. Some World Cup soccer going on. That's great. Hope you enjoy the World Cup soccer. Well, we hope you all have a wonderful summer. If you have some other achievements or announcements, feel free to drop them in the chat. If you have a Tableau opportunity for someone or you need an opportunity, let us know about it too. You are our data fam. We're here for you. We want you to be here for us, and we'll be helpful as all we can to help you on your Tableau journey. Over to you, Raquel.
Yes. So one of our favorite parts, we're going to be giving out 2 $25 certificates for the Tableau store where you can get some Tableau swag. The cards will be sent to you right after the session. If for some reason you are ineligible to receive, just send a message to Dave and he will take your name out of it. And if you also need it to be less than $25, just let us know. And yeah, good luck to everybody.
Now we're going to go to our community spotlight. Our community spotlight today is brought to you again by Justice Kenji Brown Jackson. It is stressful to decide difficult cases in the spotlight and under pressure. And here's someone, Greg Gusweiler, who is coming to us from Edina Public Schools. Welcome, Greg.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. So my name's Greg Gusweiler. I've been working with Tableau for maybe 5 years, and I would say that up until this last Tableau conference I've been completely self-taught. So that's so I'm pretty sure I'm not doing things right, but that's okay. It works for me and it works for my users. So Edina Public Schools is a public school in the Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities area. We're about 9,500 E12, so early learning to 12th grade students. So that's a little bit about me. So I'll go ahead and kind of give you a little bit of background on the dashboard or tool that I'm going to show you here in just a second. That we participate pretty heavily in professional learning communities, PLCs, otherwise sometimes collaborative teams, sometimes data groups. It's really kind of the whole, they're all kind of the same thing with just kind of, minor naming differences. And one of the challenging aspects for our teachers was the summary of data right out of the gate. And that some teachers, it was taking quite a while actually to summarize the data for an assignment where they would then bring it to their PLC to then talk about, well, this is what our data looks like. So now these are the instructional moves or teacher moves that we're going to make because of that. So because we use Infinite Campus for our student information system and Schoology for our learning management system, as we all know, these big systems don't really like to easily talk to one another, even though with certain APIs and things, they don't always work the best. So I went ahead and let's see, share that screen. Perfect. I went ahead and logged into Schoology and created 4 data flows. One for each of my middle schools and one for each of my high schools. And so using the auto export of graded items, I pull down all assignment level data, which works out to be a little over 3 million rows of data every day. And then I truncate the table, rebuild the table every night with new fresh data, right? So using the auto export of graded items and SFTP, I dump the files out, pick them up using an SSIS job, and then inject them back into Infinite Campus. So that's kind of how I gather all of the assignment level data. So this really was the starting point where I would, now that I have the data, I can then more easily kind of work with the tools. So this is the tool that I created. Now it looks hideous, and I know that, But what I found is I have put tools out there where I make the user start to filter the data, meaning I would go through all these different filters and say, don't show anything. And so it would be blank. And I can't tell you the number of times that I would get complaints back from users saying, I just don't have any access. There's no data there. So I default to displaying everything, which makes it absolutely unreadable, so that they then know they need to kind of drill in and filter to the data that they're looking for. So for our particular situation today, I'm going to take my teaching and learning data programming analyst and program coordinator hat off and put on Nathaniel Murphy, math teacher at Edina High School on. So as normal, a pre-work step to the PLC journey for our teachers is to actually gather data about a specific assignment. And so for this particular scenario, we can see that across the top, we've got the grading period title that comes out of Schoology, the section name that comes out of Schoology.
Greg, can you zoom in a little more?
I don't think I can. This is just the
that's fine.
This is just the full screen version of Tableau desktop. So I don't think I can.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So the grading period title is here on the far left, and then Schoology name or section name from Schoology, graded item name from Schoology. And then these are some parameters that I have in here that I'll show you how they actually work, but it really creates this a very flexible tool, because I don't know about you, but if you were to sit down and say to your users that I'm defining proficiency at 80%, and then anything between 80 and 70% is close to proficient, well, we probably would be in the news again, and it just wouldn't be very popular. So I'm going to go ahead and start by, each of these filters are independent of another, but they do kind of work off each other. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at our Chapter 6 test. And again, we're not really going to see that much data. And this over here is blocked out on purpose, because this is where the student names would be. So just so you know, this is intentionally black to protect the innocent. So here would be a list of students. Then here would be overall proficiency. So the students are either proficient, close to proficient, or not proficient. Then we look at 3 different subgroups. We want to look at our EL learners, our special ed students, and then a group of our students of color versus our white students. Now, Nate Murphy might be wondering, well, what's the best of my sections to use? Because this just isn't readable at all. And so I always like to hide and embed Easter eggs in a lot of the different tools that I do. And some of you, this isn't a very tricky one, but if you click the information button here, this lists out all of their sections, and you can see that if we find a different color here, we know that there are some, there's at least an EL student in here, and then it looks like special ed or 504 students in here. Okay, this might be a good one. So 3rd hour pre-calculus. So that might be a good one. And then I actually I'm just working on this right now. I learned this actually at the Tableau data conferences, how to work with and build box and whisker charts, right? So this really looks at all of the different sections. And so this is kind of cool. This hasn't been released to my users yet. We're out of school, so it's summertime party time for me, which is when I get all of my work done. But this is kind of a new way to look at the data. So I'm kind of excited to get this in my users' hands to kick the tires on it a little bit. But looking at this, I think a pretty good use of our a pretty good class would be probably this 3rd hour pre-calculus. So I'm going to go back to my summary, and then I'm just going to go ahead and filter to the 3rd hour pre-calculus here. So as soon as this refreshes, so now this becomes a lot more readable and manageable. So we can see that, again, the list of students is behind here with their either proficient, close to proficient, or not proficient. And then this lists their SPED status or their EL status just by an indicator. So what's really cool is I took the functionality out, but when a teacher would hover over this, I do normally have embedded in the list all of the students, all 4 of these students would populate in the tooltip there, and it would display the assignment max points, what the student, the number of points the student earned, and then what their percentage was, which is how proficiency is calculated. So when we look at this, we think, wow, this is pretty good, but we're weighted pretty heavy on the top side. So that's where these proficiency parameters come in. So let's say I want to ratchet up. Let's say we want to go to maybe let's go to 85%, and we'll go to 80%. Now you can see how it dynamic. Well, you probably can't see because it's really small, but you can see that these numbers are changing as we make those changes. So now you can see it's, oh, now we got a lot more kids in the non-proficient, right? So this would be something where the department at the building or the high school would maybe have ideas of what they would want their proficiency to be. But this would be the first start to the PLC conversations that they would have. So they would take this, and they have another Google document that kind of outlines all of the different teacher moves and things that they would do. So they can download this as a PDF and then actually attach it as a smart chip or whatever into that actual Google Doc, so that they can save it as a reference to come back to see if on the future assignments, how did the students listed behind here do? Did they move from proficient or too close to proficient, or did they on subsequent assessments? So that is the tool that I developed, so that my teachers can very easily grab that summary of that assignment level data take a look at things. So
yeah, no, that's terrific. Thanks, Greg. I noticed the colors there are Edina colors. You've got the green and yellow.
005826, David. That's the world I live in.
I'm actually a box and whisker pot fan. Not everybody likes them, but let's see if folks have questions for you. It says, here's a question that comes in. So we had a fan of Infinite Campus, and I don't know if you can see the chat here, but Joshua asked for the SSIS package into Infinite Campus. Did you have Infinite Campus create a new credentials to use as a service account?
Yeah,
Joshua
so
manually loads a lot of data since he's not the district admin of systems. Where he would create a service account, but neat ideas.
Campus took away, I think, just about everybody's SA accounts, or they're in the process of doing so. So what it is I build the SSIS package, host it on a local SQL server, and then execute the job in Campus in the back end. So I actually embed my credentials in there, which is going to be a problem if I were to ever win the lottery, or if they were to decide that they no longer required my services. But if that second were to be the case, that becomes a them problem and not a me problem. So.
Well, I do like how you put Schoology together with it. That was really good. Rick's wondering, the dashboard that you created there, would it give an idea of what areas the student is lacking in?
Yeah, that's a great question, Rick. And the problem with the Schoology extracts is it's just one row per assignment per student. So if an assignment, let's say we're aligned to multiple standards that they were trying to measure in that, it doesn't do that. So it doesn't, but our middle schools actually kind of circumnavigated a way around this, in that they actually started creating assignments to get single strand assignments, right? So if they're measuring circles, they have just an assignment for circles. And so they can then take those pieces out. And with the flexibility of the tool, you can you can switch between those assignments to see what kids are proficient in circles, what kids are proficient in maybe circumference or radius, or those different things. And I see that Josh has a question that I knew was going to come up, is about the API. But one
Yeah,
roster
this
data
one
two,
is if API using one roster 1.2 to move assignments from data from Schoology to Infinite Campus. Wondering if there's an API from one roster.
yeah, there most definitely is, but we have long ago, Schoology and Campus reached out to us and another school district in Ohio somewhere to participate in some beta testing on assignment level passback. And they never really got to the level that we had kind of hoped, in that it's still really clunky for teachers, and teachers who aren't as tech savvy really struggle to sync that grade book. So we do not have a a mandate that teachers sync their grade books or make that connection happen. That just comes at the end of the term when they want to. When it comes time to post grades, they actually have to do it manually rather than letting the Schoology assignment level data flow back into Campus, calculated in progress grade, and then post that way. So it creates a little bit more work for those teachers that don't want to sync their grade books. And so because of that, that led me to have to go this route, because it would be so much easier to actually access the already built assignment tables in the Campus database rather than building my own monstrosity. So
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing, Greg. It's really nice. You've been working for 5 years. We met you at the Tableau conference this year, and you were kind enough to be a community spotlight on a short notice. So for those of you out there who's like, oh, I could be a community spotlight too. That's terrific. So Greg, you said to us that it is your 5 years, and this is your playtime in the summer. What do you plan on doing next besides going to Disney World?
yeah, well, we've got some pretty aggressive projects this summer. I'm a 12-month employee, so I don't get any time off. So, some data migration from homegrown databases into more core stuff within Campus. So those are some big projects. I've got some. I actually built my student assessment portal out of Tableau as well, and it's time for a little refresh/rewrite. So I'm going to work. That's another big project that I have. So those kind of fun things. So Holly, I'm from Edina Public Schools in Edina, Minnesota.
Yeah, and Greg, you've got some Infinite Campus fans out there. I'm sure there'll be others as well who watch this later. If there are things that people are wondering if there are a place or things they can share, I think they can contact you. Is that all right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always willing to share, and have always been that. Even if my stuff is garbage, it's better than somebody who doesn't have any garbage.
Well, there we go. Terrific. Well, thanks very much, Greg. Now we're going to move into that was a great show and tell teaser. Now we're going to move into additional show and tell here. Starting out, we want to introduce our back for the second time, our show and tell advisor, critical friend here, Bo McCready. Bo's coming to us from Austin, Texas. He used to work in Madison, Wisconsin School District. You may know Bo from a lot of different things. This year, he got to be a judge on the Iron Viz, because last year he was the actual winner for the Iron Viz. But here are some of the things that he's done, not just things about schools, but also about popularity, film genre popularity. He's a wonderful friend of our and part of our data fam, and he's going to be the person listening to our first guest, which is Jenna. And Jenna's coming to us from Bentonville Schools in Arkansas, and she's going to share things with you. Now, Jenna, do you want me to advance the slides, or do you want to share yourself?
I'm happy with you driving. That's totally fine.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Like David said, my name is Jenna, and I work with the Bentonville School District. Do you want me to share? sorry about that. I have been a part of the district for 2 years and was introduced to Tableau at that time. I became more hands-on with it about a year ago. I'm part of the assessment and data management department. We are a 2-person team, myself and my boss, Matt, who unfortunately can't join us today. A little bit about our district. We are located in Bentonville, Arkansas, home to Walmart. We are a K12 public school system. We have 24 schools, close to 20,000 students enrolled, and we are the second largest district in Arkansas. Today I'm going to show you a dashboard that we created to provide a more efficient way tracking our state required testing. As some of you know, we are required to test 95% of our students overall, as well in 5 separate subgroups. This dashboard primarily is used by our administrators at our schools to track their progress. They can pull up student counts with various reports through the state, but these reports are not broken down by subgroups. So it can be a time-consuming process for them to piece it all together. With this dashboard, they can quickly pull Tableau up and see where they're at in the progress of meeting their goals. They can see total students to test, how many have completed the testing, and get a count for how many are still needing to test, while seeing where they're at percentage-wise. This is a screenshot of the public version. Here, they're also able to toggle through the subgroups and see where they're at in their student count with those as well, so they don't have to go to an extra spot. So this is a screenshot of the public view. You can see some of the interactive features that we have with this version. The tooltip appears when the user hovers on the bar, and it shows them some of the student counts that I just mentioned, as well as what grade they're in, the school, and the testing subject that we're looking at right now. You can also see some color variations of the bars. For the groups that are under 95%, they are yellow. And then once they hit 95%, the bar changes to green. This is what we solely used in the previous years. Unfortunately, being a public site, we can't include student-specific information. So admin were still coming to us, requesting lists of students that they were needing to test. So it was improvement from previous years, but it wasn't as efficient yet as we would like it to be for them. So we started looking into row level security. Through some trial and error, we were in guidance from Michelle at InnoWorks. We were able to successfully get row level security set up and going. We grabbed a group of admins from a few of our schools, created them accounts, and they helped us do a soft launch of our online site. And on this side, we can see what we were able to add, and now that we have that set up. So this screenshot is our online site, and disclaimer, student information is all fake, just for example. So here it looks pretty identical to the public site, but now when the user hovers on the bar, they get the information provided previously, but in addition, we're able to add that list of students for them who are still needing to be tested. So they get everything right here. They don't have to hop to multiple locations. To see the full list, they click on the bar, and a link pops up there at the bottom for them to tick, it takes them to a student list dashboard where they're able to view the entire list. They can print it, they can download it to a spreadsheet, however works best for them in the moment. And then they can click the button at the top. It takes them back to the dashboard where they can continue going through their groups and checking their student counts. So the admins who helped us launch this were thrilled to have the one location to go to check out everything. And we were super excited to get this working for them and provide this as a tool to help them, thanks to Tableau. So we're excited to see where else we can go with our Tableau journey. And that is Dash. Thank you again for having me.
Yeah, no, that's terrific. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate how you're showing how you kind of move forward and make advancements to help your users. Go ahead and keep sharing your screen there, or I can share mine either way. Are your colors also like Edina's, green and yellow?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking there. So now we'll turn it over to Bo for some commentary. And those out there in the audience, feel free to type in and give your congratulations and thoughts as well in the chat for Jenna.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing, Jenna. This looks fantastic. I think some of the things that I really like about this that I want to highlight right away. Interacting with this dashboard on Tableau Public, everything here is really fast, responsive. Presentation is very clear and straightforward. Sometimes a simple, things don't have to be crazy or wild or sophisticated to get the point across. And I think you have definitely, checked the box here of having a clear challenge and a clear way to address that and give people, the information about how it's being met. So I think the reference line you use is very helpful touch. The color coding for when the targets are and aren't met, also super useful. And the colors just look really nice next to the district logo as well. I assume these were intentionally chosen, and the whole thing looks, kind of very cohesive, professional. Just kind of easy to look at and interact with. A few things that I might think about for usability moving forward. The slider filter type that's used with kind of a lot of these filters on the right, it's not always the most intuitive for users. I think, when you're using that type of filter, you have to really scroll through it to see all the options that are available. Whereas kind of those more drop-down style filters that you used a couple times here, you're able to kind of just see everything that's available to you a little faster. So, personally, I like doing, drop downs with kind of a multiple checkbox and an apply button as kind of the default when interacting with stuff like that. But I acknowledge, that's personal preference. It's not necessarily right or wrong, just something I'd be thinking about. Another thing with filters is maybe, sometimes when we have that all option available for a lot of the student group filters you have here, that makes a lot of sense. For the school filter, it ends up, kind of producing, a little bit of a weird, squished result when that happens. So, might think about either taking that out, or, if you remove the school name from the header, then when you go back to all, you're going to get just, kind of a nice district-wide look at things. So another thing I think about to kind of take this to the next level potentially, everything here makes sense. It's super useful, usable, very clear. When we have a design like this, you definitely really have to use the filters a lot, very actively to kind of, where there might be challenges among specific student groups. And so, like when I'm thinking about action-oriented dashboards, I think about, how do I remove as many layers of friction as possible to kind of get people right to the things that they need to focus on. And so, I would assume for a tool like this, everything that's above 95, close to 100%, you may not need to look at that a ton. Whereas, if we thought about even something like a color-coded table where you take some of those student groups and kind of have them broken out as, rows in a table, and then maybe have like some kind of light colored bar in the background of the rows of the table to give that kind of extra visual hint. But, something like that might point people, very quickly without having interact with filters to kind of the areas where there's some work to do to kind of catch up to the goals. Or even, something like maybe there's an additional table that goes into the dashboard that just filters right away to, every student group that's below 95%. So, kind of that view, you can look right away and see, oh yeah, this is kind of, where we need to act right away, and kind of get a sense of the scale of what's left. But in general, I love any tool like this that is going to help school leaders save time. They're getting the information they need even faster. The way you talked about it sounds like this is, a really good solution to a significant problem. Going multiple places to act on something is never something that is ideal. So this is a super useful tool, and yeah, I'm sure your school leaders, really appreciate having this.
Okay, I love the feedback. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Jen. And Jenna, remind us, how long have you been using Tableau?
So I was introduced when I started with the district about 2 years ago, and became more hands-on with it about a year ago.
Yeah, so terrific. That's great work. Great way to start out. I'm glad this is being recorded so that when Matt, your boss, watches later, he can see what a great job you did. We really appreciate you coming in. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, pleasure. And now I'll go to, I think you're up next, Raquel with Priyanka.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Ambo. And our next presenter is Priyanka. She's coming to us from Alameda County Office of Education, where she works as a program manager, data visualization and analytics.
And Priyanka, would you like me to drive, or do you want to drive this slide?
I'm happy to share my screen.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to present here. I'm Priyanka Agarwal. I'm a program manager of data and analytics at the Alameda County Office of Education. So my department works with schools and districts in the county, supporting them with data assessment, accountability, and continuous improvement work. And today I'm sharing a tool that we built for our schools and district site leaders. But I'll start with some context on why we built this tool. So Alameda County is in California's San Francisco Bay Area, and we're serving over 210,000 students with across 370 schools. We have 18 school districts, and the districts in the county range from a small single school district with 14 students to an urban district with 44,000 students across 80 schools. And this diversity of schools and districts in the county creates a challenge when we are comparing the performance of schools. So today I will be referring to the California School Dashboard because that's the accountability system that's used across the schools and districts in California. But I'm sure similar problem exists in every accountability system, where if a school wants to evaluate their performance, they naturally compare it to either the district's performance or state performance. And a school example, like I've shown on the slide, a school that is performing at over 60 points below the state average, it may seem like it's not doing well. However, without proper context, this may not be a good comparison. And this is what led to the building of this tool that I'm going to share. And so the scatter plot just shows all the elementary schools across the county, and as you can see, there's a big diversity in the demography across schools. Here I have an example of socioeconomically disadvantaged students. So it ranges from very few, a small percentage, to over 90% across the schools in the county, and it has a correlation with the academic performance. So like comparing the school that is circled in red here with the schools in blue, around blue circle here, is not going to be a fair comparison because they are operating in very different contexts. So then, to help school leaders find other schools that are serving similar student demographics and operating in comparable contexts, we have built this tool which looks at the demography of students across the school. We have used English learner percentages, socioeconomically disadvantaged student percentages, and race and ethnicity percentages across the schools. And we also are comparing schools that have similar grade levels, so elementary with elementary schools, and that's how we and then the tool computes the similarity index to find the most similar schools to the selected school. The tool is publicly available on Tableau Public, and you can access it by clicking on this link in the slide deck. Here's the first page. So the school leaders can come and select their school. We start with county, then district,
Bianca,
and then the
in
school.
this platform, when
Oh,
you
we are
change
not
windows,
okay.
it doesn't change it
All
automatically
right.
for you.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know.
No.
Okay. Now you can see the tool. All right, perfect. So I just clicked on the county, then it loads up all the districts in the county, and then it loads up the schools in the district. And then when I click on find similar schools, the tool computes the schools that are most similar to the school that I've selected here, which is Grassbrook Elementary for this example. And so we have data for all schools across California. So if you are working in California, please feel free to use the tool, and we'd love to hear your feedback. So the first screen is a tabular view where it shows the performance of the selected school across the state indicators. And below that is a list of all the schools that are most similar to my selected school. So what this helps see the school leader is that, okay, my performance in English language arts is 98 points below standard, and but which looks like it's not doing well. It's at orange performance color, which is so the performance colors in California go from red, orange, yellow, green to blue, with red being the lowest performance. So it may seem like it's not doing well, but if we look at similar schools, they're all at pretty much similar performance. So it provides more context to the school leaders. And what we are hoping this tool is used for is for district and site leaders to find schools that are performing well, that have been improving. For example, the school in National Elementary District is serving similar demography, but they have an improvement. The arrows indicate how the scores have changed from previous years. So they have improved in both ELA and math, and they have a lower chronic absenteeism rate. So this this is a potential learning opportunity for the site leaders. And they can look up the school district, the school, and potentially reach out to the site leaders to learn more about what the school is doing and what has worked for them. We have a few filters. There is a filter for if you are a really small school and you want to look at schools which are serving similar size, which are of similar size, then you can use this filter to narrow down the list. And again, there is a distance from selected school filter. So I think this will be more relevant on the map view, which is our second view here. So this shows where these schools that are similar to my school are located. The colors here are the performance colors for the selected indicator. I have it on ELA right now, but we can select any of the state indicators. And then we can also compare any student group performance across the school sites. So this is particularly useful if the site leader wants to go and take probably a team of teachers to go visit the school site, then they can narrow down the distance and see which are the schools that are closer to my school that I can probably visit. So this is the map view. The other view we have here is a more comparative analysis of current year data. So the first view that I showed had performance colors that State of California calculates. Those are taking into account current year performance and change from prior year. But this view here really focuses on how the school did in the current year and how it compares with the other schools that are similar. So if you are really interested in academic scores, then you can see compared to similar schools, my school is right here. And these are the schools that are doing better than my school in both ELA and math. And then these are the schools that are not that are lower than my school. So I can really zoom in more on each indicator and really the performance that that reflects this year's performance. The last tab here is more of an appendix tab to provide the demography data, which is used to calculate similarities in the school. And yeah, so I mean, our goal with this is to have some kind of community of practice where site leaders can collaborate and share ideas, look at the school websites, what kind of programs are happening at school to learn more about what is working and take some inspirations from other sites. This is the tool. If there are any questions or would love the feedback. If you are in California and you use this tool for your work, we have a feedback form here to just, I'm always, I'm looking to learn how people are using the tool and if it's been helpful and if there are any new features or edits that would be helpful for your work, please fill out the feedback form to share more about if you end up using the tool.
Yeah, well, before Bo provides this, just I want you to know there are a couple words people have for you in the chat. Words like amazing, excellent, words like I'm going to use it, I just used it, I've already used it.
Oh, thank you.
Over to you, Bo.
Yeah, no, this is super cool. And yeah, when I first saw this dashboard, I mean, I was really just excited about the premise of what you built here. You know, when I worked for the Madison schools in Wisconsin, we would get questions all the time about, you know, what is a fair comparison for our schools and our city. And, you know, people would say all the time, oh yeah, Madison's a lot like, you know, Portland and Austin, right? I'm like, well, no, not really. You know, maybe we want to look at, you know, Omaha and Boise and, you know, some cities like that. But anyway, having a way to, you know, kind of get to these comparisons quickly is really just very, very cool. I think interacting with the dashboard too, it's a very natural user experience. The documentation here is really good. I know exactly what I'm doing and, you know, what to expect when I interact with different things. One thing I want to call out in particular, the view you have on the screen right now, these kind of introductory, you know, choose all your filters views. I don't use them a lot because I know how challenging they are to build. And I think a lot of the time, you know, they end up being very clunky. I want to call out in your case, this works fantastically well. The way that you've put this together, I know that is not a simple undertaking. And it really, really works. I even just love the little thing where, like, after you've applied everything, it bounces right to the second view. This is a very, very impressive build as just kind of a first way to interact with the dashboard. So a fantastic tool. Some things to think about, you know, design-wise, and again, these are personal preference, not something anyone would have to do, but just some things that the project makes me think about a little bit. You know, there are some places in this project where that, you know, red, orange, yellow, green, blue color scale is really kind of the only way that information is encoded, like some of the dots on the maps and things like that. You know, if you can't see that color, you probably wouldn't get the information out of it that is intended. And this is so I ran some parts of this dashboard through some color blindness simulators, and it ends up kind of being a kind of a muddy brownish gray in some of the views, which happens all the time, but at the same time is definitely something to think about a little bit. So I want to plug kind of a couple of my favorite resources that I use when I'm designing dashboards, and I can drop these into the chat afterwards too. There's a website, daltonlens.org, that has an online color blindness simulator that I think is super, super effective. You can really upload any image there, and it'll kind of simulate some different types of vision abilities to give you a sense of what it would look like. And then there's also a website called webaim.org, and that one has a contrast checker as well that will kind of evaluate background and foreground colors against web accessibility standards to kind of make sure that the contrast is there for as large of a user group as possible. I call that out for this project in particular because it is designed for lots of schools and districts to use, and so sometimes things like color blindness and contrast, when we have 10 or 20 power users, we don't have to think about that quite as much. But when we're talking about hundreds and thousands, the odds are increasing exponentially that someone is going to have some vision differences that might make it a little bit more challenging for them to use. One other little thing I would think about, and this is really specific, but checked out some of the other dashboards on this Tableau public page as well. And there's a lot of use of these kind of cool, interesting little gauge charts to show, different levels. I think they're really neat. I do think, when they get small and when they appear as kind of small multiples a bunch of times on a dashboard, it can be kind of hard to tell, what they're each indicating. You're kind of just looking at that angle, and it can be a little bit harder to pick up. So since you're using custom images for these anyway, I might consider a version of the gauge charts where the only color that's highlighted on that top arc is the one that the arrow is pointing to. Because I think then when you have a bunch of them on a page or a bunch of them as small multiples, it can be maybe a little bit easier to pick up, which category it's pointing to. So I think that might make the visual distinction a little bit easier while still, kind of keeping the spirit of what you're going for with those gauge charts, which are very cool. But in general, this is an awesome tool. I wish I had had something like this available to me. And really just the whole portfolio here is really impressive, tons of good ideas and excellent design choices. So yeah, very, very, very well done.
Thank you. Thank you for that feedback. I totally agree with the whole color scheme. The state has the performance colors, so kind of I try to stay close to those colors, but I will check out these resources on how to look for background colors that can make these more accessible for
I think that
all
absolutely makes sense, and I think I totally get it. And yeah, you want to keep the spirit so people understand intuitively what they're looking at. I will say that one thing that might help a little bit, depending on how you are and aren't wanting to use AI tools in your work, something that I've found actually really helpful is just feeding a color palette into something like Claude and saying, hey, I want to keep the spirit of these colors, but I want to maximize the contrast between them and make sure that they are meeting accessibility standards against either a white or black background. And that's the kind of task where it's very, very hard for a human to do that, but something like Claude is going to be very, very good at saying, oh yeah, if you just take this and you scale it 10 shades darker and use this hex code instead, you're gonna basically get what you're looking for. So I would, if it feels challenging, definitely try something like that.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, terrific. Thanks, Bo. That's a great ideas. And Priyanka, if you've ever wondered if anybody looks at your dashboard, they definitely do. They're using it today even. And Bo, thanks very much for your ideas. I dropped in already for you, Dalton Lens and WebAIM, as you were talking there. It was really helpful as well. And so thanks very much. Now, what many of you waited for, Bo, you can stick around if you want. We're going to talk about the Tableau conference next, and I'm going to just run through some things, but I'm happy to have you give color commentary. I know you're a busy man, and so if you have to drop off, let's give a shout out to Bo for coming in and thanking him in the chat for his terrific work, both last meeting and this meeting, for coming back. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a blast, and I'll absolutely stick around. So if there's anything else I
Okay.
can help with, let me know.
So now it's the first free gift card. This is where we go to the wheel, and then we get to find out who gets to be our first winner. So let's go to the proper wheel, proper one here. Da, 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 da. Oh, I have to get it up. Oh, there it is. Here we go. And today, here comes the wheel. We just give it a little tap. We got 50 plus participants. And today, there are 2 gift cards, but the first one goes to, oh, Clara. Clara, congratulations. Oh, Kiara, sorry. Kiara, congratulations. You are the first winner. Please send me, put your name in the, your email address in the chat so we can send you the gift card. There we go. And Clara, hopefully you're here and you'll be able to see that if you're not here anymore. Oh, there we go. Yes, you are there. Okay, just want to make sure. Terrific. Good. And now we're going to talk a bit about the Tableau conference. So some of you, I got to meet some of you there. Really happy to see so many educators there at the Tableau conference. We had an education meetup on Thursday morning, 8 a.m., and we had 150 plus people there. It was really great to see you. We had a wonderful happy hour hosted by Plant Moran as well. We hope you can make it to the Tableau conference next year. It'll be again in San Diego. They do have a special discount for public education professionals and government employees. So we hope to see you there this year. If you didn't get a chance to go, do watch some of it online, because some of the best things that I saw and some of the things I couldn't get to because they're sometimes scheduled at the same time are online right there at the Salesforce Plus experience. You just look for the Tableau Conference 2026. There are actually previous conferences still, information available there as well. So it's a great place to go to experience the Tableau Conference for the first time or again. And some of the things that were the best was, and I put this even before you showed up, Bo, was one of the best of is the Iron Viz. Now, the Iron Viz this year was really fabulous. Bo was one of the judges. It had visualizations based on data from Goodreads, which is a book ratings tool. You can see in this area, and you can watch it on live. You can see some of these advanced features that people use, but using calculated fields that you know how to do. One of the really fascinating ones that I found was this Hogwarts over Hemingway, which was all done on one sheet, right? So all one sheet, and it just kept advancing and has these wonderful animations. And you could also download these on Tableau Public. So Iron Viz 2026, a terrific resource. Also a terrific resource is this young man, I call him, Tristan Gillivan, who's been a terrific developer of his extensions, Sankey charts, node things, and he's also very entertaining. You can see in the snapshot below, it's kind of a node chart travel around the world, how information can travel. And so just watching him go through what he's developed is mind-blowing to me, but also he's quite fun and a great presenter. And you'll get to see some Viz extensions example that in the future will become normal. It's like, oh, great. I can just find that on the show me chart for my own use later. Also for everybody, whether you're a beginner or an advanced, is the speed tipping, people giving great tips on how to accelerate and make your work in Tableau more efficient. And the good thing about online is that you can slow it down and watch it at your own speed. They go through things very fast, but another 2 great presenters that will teach you some fun things that you may not have seen before. They're all native Tableau and can help you become more sharp with your skills. And one of those things is it's been around since 2020, but still people are just learning more about map layers. And this is a terrific session here to how to design with map layers. Map layers aren't just for maps. They can be used for donut charts. They can be used for all sorts of different things. They're native to Tableau, and this is a great way. This one is a waffle chart that they built here, but it's a great way to use different layers to stack one thing on top of the other that creates a more rich dashboard with even more depth. And I've got to start using that. And if you're a long-time listener, you know that I'm a lifelong intermediate user of Tableau. I'm trying to get as good as Priyanka and others as well. So these things are very helpful for me. I'm also a big user of Tableau Prep, and now Tableau Prep has relationships as well. And this is why, for me, it's on the best of. It's giving the kind of the next generation of Tableau Prep that uses the relationship data, otherwise known as the noodle. And it's going to start helping you speed up dashboards. It's coming soon. 2026.2, so it may not be there yet for you, but something to look forward to. That's the fun thing about Tableau Conference also. It also gives you a preview of what's coming next, whetting your appetite for things. Let me pause here. Bo, any comments yet? I know I'm going fast.
No, yeah, I would just second everything you've said so far. And I think from my perspective too, it is always worth going back and watching both the main keynote and devs on stage as well to kind of get a sense of how Tableau leadership and how Tableau developers themselves, the people who are working on the platform, are thinking about the era that we're in and how AI is influencing everything, and how Tableau kind of is going to continue to be a major player in the market, but also kind of pivot to meet the moment. So yeah, those are kind of additional recommendations for me. I think devs on stage is particularly fun. It's always a good kind of reminder that, behind the scenes, there's innovation happening all the time, and it may take a while until it makes it into our hands, but there's a lot of cool stuff coming. Really. Second, third, underline a million times the cool power of map layers as well. You can design, basically, once you crack map layers, you can design basically anything you can imagine in Tableau. It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, it's terrific. And then Holly just put in the chat that 2026.2 server is now available, just dropped yesterday. Thanks, Holly. And the other thing, we don't always have Bo around to help us out, but another great kind of framework that was presented was the CLEAR framework here about how to critique and design better dashboards. It's really a good structure that for folks and those of us in education who love rubrics. This is the kind of thing that you can do, and you can also again stop and start the video to take notes and use your own scenarios or use your own dashboards for this. And then, of course, as Bo mentioned, Tableau Agent AI coming and AI driving the dashboarding and that sort of thing. The other thing that was really helpful here for if you've just started to use the agent and that sort of thing is that it does need specific guidance. And the next slide will go through a little short video that shows that. But this session also talks about the model context protocol, which was something new to me, and it's relatively new-ish, but it's also new to me, in which you can feed your information out into an AI agent, an AI agent like Claude or what's OpenAI, ChatGPT, Grok, all these different things, and have it come back to you. So this is something that may be privacy-wise not good for our FERPA protections and that sort of thing. But if you have access to these AI agents and they're locked down for you, or these large language models and they're locked down for you, it might be something to be interesting for you, but it's just also kind of really interesting. But the practical tip is here, and this is something I ran into as well, so I wanted to include this. When I was using the agent, it just didn't seem like it was doing what I wanted, and then I listened to this video. So let's take a quick listen here for this little minute-long video. Oh, there we go.
With the launch of Tableau Plus, one of the most exciting innovations is Tableau Agent, an AI-powered assistant that creates visuals directly in Tableau Cloud by simply asking in natural language. But to get the best results, it's important to use the right approach. Let's understand it by two examples. Let's look at a challenging scenario. When a user asks, show month-over-month percentage difference of revenue growth for repeat customers, excluding first-time buyers for the furniture category. When this query is asked all at once, Tableau Agent often struggles. It misinterprets the segmentation logic and generates a visual without the intended table calculations. This leads to incomplete or incorrect results. Now, let's try a step-by-step approach. Step 1. Create a calculated field for repeat customers, excluding first-time buyers. It creates the correct calculation. Step 2. Create a calculated field for percentage difference of revenue growth. Again, the correct table calculation we needed. Step 3. Create a line chart for month-over-month percentage difference of revenue growth for repeat customers in the furniture category. Voila! By breaking the query into smaller steps, Tableau Agent retains context and delivers precise calculations and visuals. The final chart matches the business requirements, no manual adjustments needed. The best way to leverage Tableau Agent is to ask structured, step-by-step questions instead of one large, complex query. By validating calculations first, and then building the visualization, you can fully unlock Tableau Agent's power for fast, accurate, and intuitive analysis.
So that's the big idea. Break it down. Don't try to put it all in one prompt engineer quote that maybe Claude can handle or ChatGPT can handle. Break it down into little steps. And then the other really great thing is that the future of data is accessible, and there's a lot of accessibilities coming forward in Tableau. We might do a session on that in the fall. And then, of course, the Flairledge twins, they're fun, they're funny, and always fun to watch them do cool stuff in Tableau. Last thoughts, Bo?
I think you crushed it. Yeah, fantastic.
And now we're going to turn it over to the second gift card. We're going to get to the right screen. We appreciate all of you sticking in for this session here. And maybe you're staying around for the gift card. Maybe it's something else. We're going to remove Kiara. Sorry, Kiara, I can't win twice. And spin again. And our second gift card goes to Holly. Congratulations, Holly. We know you're there. Please set your information into the chat so Raquel can pick it up. And woohoo, that's right. And Raquel, over to you.
Thank you. Let's hope that my internet's gonna hold. It's been really funny because there's 3 drops of rain outside, but that's Virginia weather for you. So I am gonna talk a little bit about some of the enhancements that we've seen with the not latest anymore Tableau release, so 2026.1. So more connectors, hooray. I think I saw something about a REST API connector and also a new S3 bucket. So if you were waiting for that one connector, that might be your lucky turn. You might have your connector needed. I might be a bit too excited about this, more than I should be, which just show what a nerd I am. But rounded corners, it's only been about, 10 years that people have been asking for those rounded corners. And finally, we have it. So you can decide, how rounded you want it, all the way to a circle. Just giving you a little bit more flexibility. I see other people are also as happy as I am about the rounded corners. And I haven't delved too much into the REST API connector, but I was really excited to see it because it would have solved a lot of my problems a couple months ago. So I do not know about the token usage, but I would imagine it might. So upgraded Show Me with full keyboard accessibility and screen reader support. Whoop, whoop. And it is available, I believe, on cloud, desktop, and public. So expands the options to include other Tableau pieces as well. Accessible visualization authoring. So supporting navigation and interactivity without relying on a mouse. So those who prefer keyboards, there we are. You can use the keyboard or assistive technology. Unfortunately, not on desktop or prep yet, hopefully soon. Mixed geometry, another thing that I'm very, very excited about. Had a lot of problem with that, having to create 2 separate maps because I have different geometries for district, state, and all the other sorts of divisions of school districts. So no need for that anymore. You can have one column with different geometry shapes and be able to use that on a map. So it removes that restriction And now you can handle a more complete data set all in one. And as always, to stay up to date, you can always go to the Tableau website. As someone mentioned, yesterday they dropped the 2026.2. I haven't had a chance to see what those are, but hopefully some of those coming soon. Asks are there.
Thanks, Raquel. And Bo, anything you're looking forward to or have found and you're like, oh, this is terrific?
I think a lot of the stuff that's already been called out is great, but yeah, I'm going to have the opportunity shortly to participate in a pilot with Tableau for some AI authored dashboards as well, just to kind of see how that's going to work. So yeah, I'm super curious about all of this. I think, you know, things are changing for all of us every day really quickly, and I'm glad that Tableau is meeting the moment.
And Raquel, you've got some other rounded corner fans. Someone who's ill-pointed who could even go up with a Mobius strip. You could wind it so much. There we go. That's very good. The other thing to note is that if you can stay up to date, terrific. You don't always have to. It's terrific to have the most and latest. Remember, a good tip if you're using prep and desktop is having them at the same edition. So if you've got 26.1 on your prep and 25.2 on your desktop, things don't always work out as well as you'd like. So trying to keep up to date and keep them matched will help you as well.
And just so you can have on your calendars and your radar, August 2026 coming up. Get a School with Andrew Gribble, and that's an event by Higher Education Tug and the California Community College Tug. We'll have dates coming up in September, November, February, back to Tableau Conference 2027, and hopefully I'll be there next year. And again, if you have any ideas, if you have any topics that you would like us to talk about, that you would like to see or learn more, just please let us know. We're always looking for input and feedback of things you would like to see.
And one of the things we'll do is I caught my typo there. May 2027. We're not going to have a TC26 forum. We're going to have a 27 forum because it's going to be in 27. But anyways, so I'll fix those before we go. I do want to thank very, very much all of the people that we had today present. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Priyanka. Special thanks to Bo for coming in to help us out here. Also, a thanks to Stephanie, though she's not here, she'll watch it later. And thanks to Plant Moran for being a sponsor for us. I'm glad to hear that Plant Moran was helpful to the Bentonville district as well. And thank you all, Data Fam, for showing up, for sticking around. We really appreciate you. We have you have a great summer break. Congratulations to those who are graduating, those who have graduated. If you're watching this next year, well, that's okay too. But it's all here for you. And we are happy to have you as part of our K12 Data Fam. Until the next time, until this September, or actually August, that's right, with Andy Kriebel. Now, Andy, I forgot to mention, Andy is another terrific Tableau ambassador and visionary. He's one of the people in the GOAT tipping. So it'll be a great one for you to come. He's going to share some more terrific tips as well. But until September and August, have a great summer.